I just knew going into this week that we are going to have two hard games, and it's two upperclassmen-led teams with winning tradition, NCAA tournament profile with Gardner-Webb. You're talking about guys that went into ACC schools and won last year. Came in here and played Virginia with all the marbles on the line and gave them everything they wanted. And they're coming off I'm not going to say a bad loss, but they got beat 20, I want to say, at Wichita 3-4 days ago. When you got a winning pedigree, you don't respond after a loss like just go through the motions. And the one thing that this week has been real good for our team is that teams with winning pedigrees, they don't lose. You have to beat them. And we haven't figured that one out yet. We actually took control of the game there in the second half, and we're defending and playing fairly well on offense. And then we had 4 consecutive just bonehead, there's no other way to use, I wish I could be positive, plays. 3 on defense, 1 on offense that put them right back in the game. And now you give them life. But somehow, some way, we battled and survived.
Frank, I believe the fast break layup, they took the lead with about a minute to go. Then Jermaine gets the three-point play. How did you see that play develop? I know you guys like to run up and down the floor, but was that going to be Jermaine all the way, or was it just first open guy shooting?
Yeah, no, we tried to run something, and they didn't get out of the way. I mean, they never did. Every shot we took today was under duress. Which is another learning part for our guys, is I looked out one time, we had 4 freshmen and a sophomore in the game in the second half. And part of what young kids don't understand about college basketball is that you rarely shoot a ball against a senior upperclassman-led team open. Rarely. Every shot's under duress. And so a ball, it's not going in for us. And the jump shot, it's not going in there consistently. So we have to be comfortable in shooting in uncomfortable ways. But they took us out. We were trying to run something, and we tried to execute. They just guarded. Sometimes they don't get out of the way. And Jermaine, whoever, I think it was Jalen, I'm not remember who it was. He didn't just stand around. We got kind of a quick middle ball screen, and they were late on the hedge. And give Jermaine credit, he sensed it and he drove it, and he scored. So I think it's the only time all game where we made a contested layup. We got some good shots. You got to score. We got some open threes from guys that make threes. They got to make them. We got some plays at the rim. We got to make them. We got to score.
You talked in the past about how your defense can lead to great offense. You said you're missing shots tonight. Is that more of a function of not doing what you want to do on defense these last couple of games, or is it just missing shots?
Yeah, I didn't think we were bad defensively today. I don't think we never had a stretch in the game where we came down and went shot to allow the stress of the next possession to be a little less on the defensive side. I thought they're pretty good on offense. And what they shoot, 8% or something from the field? We couldn't guard number 2 off the bounce, but we had to put Kotsar number 5. That was my opinion watching film, and that's what we went with, and I thought we did a decent job on number 5, on Perez. But we couldn't. Then number 2 just took the ball and drove us every time, and we didn't do a very good job of guarding him off the bounce. It is what it is. I wish there was a better description for that. But by us that's 2 games in a row where we don't come down and go 3 layup, 3 foul, so you don't get an 8-0 run. And when you don't get 8-0 runs, as the game gets longer, it stresses your defense even more. And we gotta get to it. We're not playing as fast as I want to play right now on offense. We got a lot of jogging and walking the ball up the floor, and that's part of the young guys stuff. It's I've got to fix that, and that's on me. But we get moments where you see us where we actually run and throw it ahead and be aggressive, and we got to get better at that.
Frank, Mike said Thursday that he needs to be the guy to step up and be the leader that you're looking for. Did you see that from him tonight?
Yeah, he's grown up. It's, Mike battled. He had a tough defensive assignment today. If you go back through his career, he missed a little kind of jump hook in the lane in the middle of the second half. Over the last couple of years, with the game on the line, he would have gone into a shell and wouldn't shoot the ball. And I think I've shared it with you guys. I'm working at trying to get him to those elbows because he can really shoot the ball from that 12, 14-foot mark. And he made back-to-back jump shots that out of offense. We moved, bang, bang. He was the best jump shooter on our team today, the most consistent one. Mike's starting to change his demeanor from within, which is allowing him to be more aggressive, which is what he need offensively. I'm talking about, which is what we need him to do. And he's got his hands full. He's as he grows into that role, he also has a lot of responsibility to lead. And but he's ready for it. I'm excited for him. Big time offensive rebound with the game on the line. I mean, Jermaine shoots that three at the end of the clock, and he didn't give in. Justin made a big time offensive rebound also. I gotta get Justin. Justin's like, I don't know what happened the last two games with Justin. I really don't. His spirit was good today, but his technique was not good. He struggled defensively. He didn't rebound. He's got to make some threes for us. Him, Jermaine. Here's the deal: him, Jermaine, T.J. Moss, for the most part, they got to start moping because their jump shot's not dropping. If you start moping, the jump shot goes in less, not more. And I got to get those three guys. Jermaine was a lot better. Jermaine, for the last 7-8 days, he's been walking around with these droopy eyes and to feel sorry for me because his ball ain't going in. So has TJ. So for whatever reason, yesterday, Jermaine had a bad day 2 nights ago with me. Bad. Okay? And then he came back yesterday, and instead of moping and pouting and worried about himself and his ball, he actually came in and did what he did for the first 5 weeks. He was loud, he was competitive, he was engaged. And guess what? He actually played pretty good today. So we need the other guys to kind of do that kind of stuff too.
I guess what went into the decision to start Wildens over Alonzo tonight? And I guess in terms of Justin, is it just about getting him more looks, or is it something else that you might need to do with him?
Justin just has to get to a place where he's comfortable that like he's trying to do things that he's not, like trying to go crossover between three guys. That's not what you do. It's not what you do. Do what you're good at. Don't try to be creative with different things that you're trying to do in the middle of a game. It just has to be at peace with who he is and allow his spirit and his competitive demeanor to help our team. He's going to make corner threes for us. He's going to make some slot threes for us. It's going to happen. He's got to get back to that place. Wildens just practices and provides an energy. Today was probably not the right game to put him in the lineup because of the opponent. But you know what? What are we going to do? Wait till what game? Wichita, West Virginia, Virginia? I mean, just like so. Let's throw him out there. He brings an energy. We got guys on our team that are in this kind of laissez-faire kind of ways right now, and they got to get out of it. And Wildens plays with an energy about him. He'll be better next time out.
Frank, what adjustments did you guys try to make offensively at halftime?
We were trying to score in the post. They obviously let it be known that we're not letting you score in the post. Outside of Kotsar, the other three that I'm playing right now, McCreary, Wildens, and Alonzo, are just standing around. They're not. Two of them, one's being lazy. The other two are just freshmen that are trying to figure out their names right now. And and they're just standing around. And anytime you stand around, then it allows the defense to get where they belong. So we need more activity from those three guys as far as screening, cutting, posting. And I thought Jalen was better in the second half. Jalen got to that middle area of the floor, and Jermaine's a real good passer when he's in the middle of the floor, and he made that little kind of lob to Jalen. Those are plays that Jalen can make for us. I've got to learn how to coach him too. That's the part that we all turn the blind eye to. Is we expect coaches to understand how to manage people that you've been in 2 games of duress for the first time in your career with them. We have to understand the people that we're coaching too. I wish I can tell you I got this little magic wand that I go home and tap myself in the head and I immediately figure out how to motivate players. That takes time. The hardest thing in life is understanding how people learn. There's nothing more complicated than that. And if you can't figure out how they learn, you can't teach them. And I'm trying to figure that out with Jalen and with Wildens. We'll get there. We'll get there. But it's we were trying to score in the post, and we couldn't. So in the second half, I decided to run more stuff where we were trying to run, because they were all sitting in the paint, and they're really competitive, and they weren't letting us beat them off the dribble. So I started to run stuff rather than post the bigs, move the guards to kind of try and get them out of the paint and then drive them. A.J. never drove the ball. I was on A.J. the whole second half to drive the ball, and he never drove it. Jermaine did. Jermaine made some plays. He missed, he had 2 3-point play opportunities that he missed that he's got to score. But that was the difference between first and second half.
With Jermaine, he played a lot more minutes tonight than he has this year. Was it something that you saw in practice? Was it matchup things, or was it just he played well in your eyes to keep him out on the court?
Yeah, first couple games, because of the score of the games, I needed to play guys because I got so many first-year guys, and we're trying to play different guys and get feel. So his minutes weren't as much as they probably would have been if we were in a hard game. But his ball didn't go in, and it started in the Wyoming game. And then he started like most freshmen do. Their energy and their enthusiasm is tied to their ball going in the basket. And he's been moping and, whatever. So I don't play guys that mope. I don't care what the score of the game is. I didn't do it with Michael Beasley, who's 26 and 14 every night. I didn't let him mope. I'm not going to let Jermaine Cousinard mope. I do no young person. It's a disservice if I continue to allow them to mope and think that they can succeed in life while moping. So he had to get out of his feelings. And we got that fixed Wednesday night. And he went home and he wasn't real happy. I was actually happy. And yesterday he came in and he was out of his feelings and he was back into our feelings, the way he was for the first 5 weeks of practice. And since he was in our feelings yesterday, guess what happened today? The head ball coach actually let him play a little bit. And, funny, and by the way, how awesome was that, having the real head ball coach in the building today? I was sitting in my locker room before the game, and I hear a voice. I said, no. And in walked Coach Spurrier, and we sat there, and heck, it's unbelievable, his willingness to stay involved in sports. He can't stay away. He's awesome.
Frank, past 2 games, the drivers go into the defense, draw everybody in, and then kick out for the threes. A lot of those shots are going in. AJ said it was maybe just a thing about talking more, communicating more. Is that what you're seeing on those plays?
We're not guarding the ball. That's Justin Minaya hasn't guarded the ball yet. AJ Lawson hasn't guarded the ball yet. When you don't guard the ball and you play these kind of teams, they don't just make one pass and say, oh, God, we didn't get the shot. They're going to make the next pass and the pass after that. So it puts unbelievable amount of stress on your backside rotations. And that's what, we gave up. One of those bonehead plays I was talking about is, we don't guard the ball, so they drive it into the right slot. So now our big tries to rotate, which is what we teach. Jair Bolden is standing on the other side of the floor just kind of looking in the stands or something. So we give up a drop for a layup. You can't. You can't make those mistakes. But it all starts with our inability to guard the dribble. And we didn't guard it against, we didn't, I don't know if you guys remember, I think I spoke about this in the Cleveland State game. That they were getting layups and we were shooting off the dribble threes. I think I said that. It hasn't stopped. BU drove the ball on us, put us on our heels the whole game, and these guys did the same. Our guys have to take ownership of guarding the dribble, and right now we're struggling at that. And once again, I'm not into blaming them. You're asking me a question. I'm telling you what the problems are. You're not beating good teams if you're constantly rotating. You have to man up. We couldn't beat them off the dribble. They're up. Their guys said no, it's not happening. And you know, we got to get better at that. And we're letting the ball we're getting blown off the ball. First of all, blow by drives are impossible to help. And we're giving up blow-bys right now. We got to get a lot better on the ball so then we can fix our backside rotations.